दलबिंदर तुम है क्या भाई उधर लैपटॉप में?
I'm there sir, I'm there.
जरा इनेबल कर या डिसेबल करो ना वेटिंग रूम को।
सर एक
और
बार को होस्ट बना दीजिए।
हाँ कर, तुम्हें ये करना पड़ेगा होस्ट बनाने के लिए। शेख जरा दलबिंदर को बना दो को होस्ट। दलबिंदर तुम है क्या भाई उधर?
मैं हूँ।
जरा इनेबल कर या डिसेबल करो ना।
कर दे रहा हूँ दलबिंदर, आई एम मेकिंग यू को होस्ट। आई एम डूइंग इट दलबिंदर, 1 सेकंड, आई एम
तुम्हें ये करना पड़ेगा होस्ट बनाने के लिए। शेख जरा दलबिंदर को बना दो।
डूइंग इट।
दलबिंदर तुम है क्या भाई उधर? जरा इनेबल कर या डिसेबल करो ना।
कर दे रहा हूँ दलबिंदर, आई एम मेकिंग यू को होस्ट। आई एम डूइंग इट दलबिंदर, 1 सेकंड,
तुम्हें ये करना पड़ेगा होस्ट बनाने के लिए। शेख जरा दलबिंदर को बना दो।
डूइंग इट।
दलबिंदर तुम है क्या भाई उधर?
I'm there शेख भाई, I'm there.
Wow.
Yes, Dalvinder, your co-host.
Done.
दलबिंदर हो गया?
I'm there शेख भाई, I'm there. Enable.
नहीं हुआ डिसेबल नहीं हुआ। चैट बॉक्स का नीचे ही होगा ऑटोमेटिकली।
जी।
दलबिंदर हो गया? दलबिंदर कब तुम सीखेगा तुम लोग?
नहीं सर, नहीं होगा।
क्यों?
डिसेबल ऑप्शन जो है वो लाइट कलर में लिखा हुआ आ रहा है। आई थिंक होस्ट कैन ओनली मेक इट।
डिसेबल ऑप्शन है पर नहीं हैला से होस्ट ओनली करि परियो।
ओनली होस्ट कैन डू इट सर, बिकॉज़ वो ऑप्शन शायद खरीदने के टाइम में एक्टिवेट नहीं हुआ है।
नहीं सब है वो सेटिंग में करना पड़ेगा जाके वहाँ। थोड़ा अलाउ करेंगे और क्या। लेट विल अलाउ पीपल।
जसवंत भाई प्रिंस हियर, वो डायरेक्टली वेबसाइट में जाके करना होता है, यहाँ पे करने से वो दिखाता है लेकिन अलाउ नहीं करता।
हाँ वजह से शेख जानी में बताते हैं कौन नहीं हो।
सेटिंग्स
हाँ होस्ट ही पारे।
शेख डजंट नो दैट नॉलेज तो प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है।
बस भाई नो प्रॉब्लम, मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूँ, डोंट वरी मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूँ।
जाने के रह के अलाउ कर दियो।
हाँ डोंट वरी मैं कर रहा हूँ।
I am doing that.
No problem, मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूँ, डोंट वरी
जाने के रह के अलाउ कर दियो।
हाँ डोंट वरी मैं कर रहा हूँ।
Requesting everyone to go muted please so that silence is maintained and we can start the proceeding in just 1 or 2 minutes.
I am doing that.
No problem, मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूँ, डोंट वरी
जाने के रह के अलाउ कर दियो।
हाँ डोंट वरी मैं कर रहा हूँ।
Requesting everyone to go muted please so that silence is maintained and we can start the proceeding in just 1 or 2 minutes.
I am doing that. No problem, मैं अलाउ कर रहा हूँ।
Requesting everyone to go mute. We're already live, so all of you please go mute. Requesting everybody to go mute. Parsuram, are you there? Just give me a buzz.
Yes.
Avinash, our chief speaker is already there. I have joined in, I believe. Avinash, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, Avinash. Thank you. Avinash is starting in a while, so it's already 30 members. People will be joining in.
Just you have to give me the right to share the screen from my side.
हाँ ये शेख जरा अविनाश को co-host बना देना please. Avinash Anand Singh. Sheikh, you can see the name in the participant list. Avinash Anand Singh, please make him a co-host.
अविनाश जी कर दिया, थोड़ा चेक करिए।
No, he's not a co-host.
Yeah, done.
Yes, done. He's done now. All right. So Avinash, we'll start in a while. Good evening, everyone. So we are already 30 members here, 32 members here. People will be joining in soon, and we are already live. And with yet again with another very important webinar, and we have our program deputy program chairman Parsuram Das to start the entire initiation. So Parsuram, over to you, please.
Thank you, Jaswant. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to this learning session with Avinash. Avinash, welcome. Let me give you a brief introduction of Avinash. Avinash Anand Singh is a transformational coach and working in the area of connecting science with ancient wisdom. He's a member of Forbes Coach Council, and he has won Karamveer Chakra Award from International Confederation of NGOs and United Nations. Avinash, in fact, is a certified NLP trainer, associate leadership coach, law of attraction trainer, integrated clinical hypnotherapist, advanced pranic healer, psychotherapist, and a student with a keen interest in quantum physics. Actually, Avinash has been conducting this program of subconscious mind, which is his flagship program, in more than 12 cities. Today, I was going through a few of the YouTube videos, and the testimonials from different cities are amazing. Maybe, if I'm not wrong, this is one of best programs rolling from last 5 years. I welcome Avinash, and he has an objective to reach out to 1 billion lives by 2030. And in his social media presence, he has almost 10,000 followers, which includes Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also TikTok. Recently, he has a lot of videos there. So a lot of free learning content for all of us. Welcome, Avinash, and his objective is to helping people discover their genius. I request all of you to give him a virtual applause by clicking the clap icon, and welcome Avinash to LND Bhubaneswar chapter.
So thank you so much for your introduction. Thank you so much for inviting me. Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Jasuban, for the invite. It is a pleasure to talk about this concept.
Avinash, very sorry to intervene. I have something to instruct to the participants before you start. Just a second. So, my viewers, just a process of the entire webinar. Avinash is taking such a topic which needs pin drop attention and concentration. This is power of subconscious mind. So, so instruction goes this way. He will go on with the session and park all your question in the chat box whenever you have any question triggering your mind, and all the questions will be taken at the end, 15 minutes before the session ends. So Avinash, you have got exactly 45 to 50 minutes. And in between, I believe if some questions really triggers, if you think like, see the chat box and you would like to respond, you can do that. Or anyway, we are taking up all the question at the end. All right, Avinash.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. It is a pleasure to talk to people about this concept very close to my heart. Now, everyone, I can see the names here. Now, for me, I'll be very honest to start with. For me, it is very difficult to talk to people in a session like this without seeing faces, right? So I know you may be at your home in your own convenient clothing, but if possible, please put the video on. So let me have some faces in front of me. So that ensures that my performance today would be good, right? Okay, so thank you so much for people who are putting the video on. Prafula sir, thank you so much. Sinpati, Lipsa, those who are in front of me right now. Preeti, Una sir, namaste, long time. We were there before in Bhubaneswar also. Ashok, so thank you so much everyone putting the video on. And will give me the connect with the audience, so I hope I'll deliver justice for next 5 minutes to you. Now, I have prepared some presentation because with online, it becomes a challenge with only audio. So I thought, let me put something in place which will help you to, all of you to understand things in a much better way, right? Okay, let me put the slide on. So I'll try to make it as easy to understand as possible. It's a very complex concept sometimes. And the issue is, if it's complex, people generally avoid using it. So my effort would be that to make this very simple, very easy to understand, and also very relevant, right? I don't want to just put you with a lot of confusion in the mind about the concept, but to give you some clear-cut idea of how you can use this concept to really impact your life, right? Good. So I'll be not able to see the chat box in real time because the presentation is on. But once in a while, I'll try to log into the chat and then see if any questions or queries needs to be answered, right? Sounds good. Let's go ahead. So today the agenda is, you can see Will Smith dancing. The agenda is understanding subconscious mind, the subconscious mind from childhood, how it gets programmed. We talk about beliefs, and then we talk about certain tools. One primary tool which can help us to reprogram subconscious faster and in a powerful way, right? My profile, again, they have given a good introduction about me. But quickly, just 2 lines that my work is to connect the scientific research theories coming in with the ancient wisdom and to eventually extract the best of both the worlds and to create a body of knowledge in a way that people can understand, apply, and change their life, right? So eventually the outcome we are looking at people with improved life, with more fulfillment inside and with more success outside, right? A lot of people achieve success outside, but the inside fulfillment lacks. And there can't be a greater failure than success without fulfillment, right? So that's my objective of my work. We do this all over in corporates and different cities, online, offline, more than 5 countries we are in right now in terms of the work, right? Perfect. So let's go quickly jump in the topic. So to start with, let me give you an understanding of the conscious and subconscious, right? And what are the key highlights of this conscious subconscious mind, right? Now, the challenge here is I'm going to tell you about the mind, about your mind, and you are using your own mind to understand your own mind, right? So sometimes there can be a challenge, right? It's like you ask a person, tell me about yourself, no? So there can be an issue sometime because the mind is involved in understanding the mind, right? There is a beautiful concept in psychology called as metacognition. What is metacognition? Metacognition is the ability you have to think about what are you thinking. Metacognition is to think about what are you thinking, right? And that's the gift to human being. We can be aware in the moment about who we are as a person. I can be aware about what I'm speaking right now, you see? And this ability, metacognition, is the function of what we call as the prefrontal cortex, which is the front part of your brain, the thinking mind or the conscious mind, right? So using this mind, like a chief executive officer of a company, this mind can turn inward and can start looking at what is happening inside. And that is what gives us the ability to reflect, ability to introspect, and to bring change in life, right? So if you are not in your life taking pauses to stop and reflect, where are you going, which direction you're moving, right? Then the change would not be as fast as it can be, right? So reflection, introspection is a great virtue. It has been talked by great people across times, across countries, places. And if you can use this, you can then see how it gives you the power to shift your own subconscious, program it the right way, right? Perfect way. Okay, so imagine this yellow sphere as your mind, right? This is your mind. And we imagine mind, this to be 100% completely, right? So this includes your conscious and subconscious mind together, right? Now, if I go ahead and this, and so conscious mind, if you can see here, it represents around 5% of the mind, right? The conscious. And the subconscious, as you guess, it is 95% of your mind, right? So by the sheer quantity or the size of the mind, the subconscious holds greater power. It holds greater ability, greater processing ability, greater control over our life, right? Some scientists, they refer that our life, 95% is governed by subconscious, right? All your behaviors is subconscious. So for example, right now, the way you are sitting right now is a subconscious habit of sitting this way, right? The way you move your hand, the way you talk, right? The way you do anything is a subconscious activity, right? All of this. Now, what does conscious comes in? The conscious mind is simply a mind which involves in thinking, right? The gift of human beings is we can think, we can create thoughts, and that's where the conscious mind comes in picture. So the conscious mind, 5% is the thinking mind, and the subconscious, 95% is the emotional mind or the habit mind, right? So let me now quickly give you certain features of conscious and then subconscious, and I'll explain in detail all of these one by one, right? So as we see now, the conscious mind is the mind of thoughts, right? All the thoughts you create is a conscious activity. Okay, now everybody at their own comfort has gone back again, videos off. Guys, you have to put the videos on. If I can't see faces, I'll not get a feedback of what is happening, right? Rupashri, Sandhya, people in front of me, put the videos on, guys, if you can. It will help me to connect with you guys. Otherwise, I can't just want to don't want to do it a monotonous one-way kind of stuff, right? Okay, good. Thank you so much for honoring the request. Conscious mind is a thought mind, right? Now, what is a thought mind? This mind creates thought. So if I ask you right now, can you think of an elephant, right? Think of an elephant right now. Now, you may have a picture in your mind right now. Now, that is a conscious activity. You used your conscious mind to create this elephant, right? Now, if you continue to do this activity of thinking of about an elephant, say, for example, for next few days, after some time, it becomes a subconscious activity. The subconscious pulls this thought, this habit of thinking this particular thought, and makes it a subconscious activity, which means you don't have to consciously put an effort to think. It can be done subconsciously on its own. I'll give you an example. Imagine this. In the childhood, when you were growing up, you had a bicycle. Now imagine the first day you're trying to drive a bicycle. What happened? First day, you're not able to even sit in the bicycle properly, right? You're falling down left, right, center. So first day, second day, third day, fourth day. It took you around 7 to 10 days to possibly learn to drive the bicycle carefully, right? The first 10 days. So pure conscious activity. The conscious mind was involved in learning how to drive the bicycle, or for that matter, learning how to walk. You did not come out of your mother's womb and say, I'm going to run right now. You came out, and then after a few months, you started crawling, and then standing, and then walking. It took you several months for it. So initially, when you start learning something, anything you start learning, the conscious mind comes in picture. It has to do the work of decoding the task in the learnable chunk, right? Now, once this task is done several times through repetition, that task, once you have learned it well, it goes in subconscious. The skill set is driven in the subconscious. So after a few days of riding bicycle, it becomes your natural habit. It becomes your unconscious habit. Now, today you can drive a bicycle, a car, and you can talk to somebody on the phone, all at ease. Why? It has become a subconscious habit for you now. No more the conscious mind is involved. You can use the conscious mind to talk to somebody on the phone, parallelly driving the car or driving the vehicle. Not so good practice, don't do it, but I'm giving you an example to understand. Making sense, right? So any skill, when you learn, the first step is using the conscious mind, the 5%, to decode the skill. And once you have learned the skill well, it is transferred to the subconscious mind. So for that matter, all your habits, all your behaviors are a part of subconscious. Now think about this part. Somebody asks you, why don't you try smoking, right? Or drinking. Now, first day when you tried smoking or drinking, now I don't encourage it, but give this example so people can relate it well. Or like eating rasgulla, for example, kala jamun, rasgulla, something like that, yeah? Now, think about this part. When you started, smoking first day, it was not something your body appreciated. It was scuffing. The body was telling you, this is not good, right? Don't smoke, don't drink, this is not good. Not in the case of rasgulla. Rasgulla was like, wow, this is tasty, right? But you persisted. You kept on smoking again, kept on drinking again, right? Now, once you do that for several times, the subconscious says, okay, you want to do this? I accept the habit. And the subconscious mind literally accepts the habit of drinking or smoking. Now, till this point, it is good. Once subconscious accepts a behavior, a habit, now, if you tell the subconscious, like you say to yourself, I want to leave smoking. Now, guess what? It will be very, very difficult for you now. Why? Once the subconscious develops a habit, leaving it becomes very, very challenging. And that's why you have to be very careful of what habits you are indulging in, or what behaviors you are trying to do, or what things you're trying to start engaging in. Because once the subconscious accepts the idea, even if it's not good for you, it starts making you repeat that endlessly. Like social media. We know about social media today, right? We endlessly scroll through Facebook. Now, to the extent it is not good for you, still you do it, right? Why? The subconscious mind had accepted the idea. Now, same concept is used by Virat Kohli. He took a habit of playing cricket, practice. And after a point of time, this was picked by the subconscious, and it became a subconscious habit for him to play cricket. And guess what? Once he communicated only one integrity, single, whole idea, which is to play cricket, or for that matter, somebody is a writer, author, or musician, once that goes subconscious, that idea goes subconscious, that can lead you to the height of greatness as well, right? Anybody who is a champion, a genius in their field, they have mastered that act, that habit for millions of time. They have practiced it for millions of time. It becomes their unconscious habit, and that's how they excel in the game. Most people, a lot of us, the population, we have mastered things which may not have any relevance to our life in the future. Like, for example, we have learned how to gossip very well, but this will not lead us to success. We have learned how to type very fast, but this will not lead us to success, right? We have not consciously chosen what is my gift, what is that one skill, one habit I can master for several years, which can make me the world best. We have not done that. But anybody who has come to the top level, you will notice they have chosen something, some habits, some ideas, which has helped them to reach to that level. So it's very important that you have to zero it in, you have to freeze on what is that 1, 2 things I want to excel in. Without that, you are leaving the subconscious completely confused, right? Okay, so all thoughts come from conscious mind. The conscious mind is not awake throughout the day, right? As you get up in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, your conscious mind gets awake. As you sleep in the night, your conscious mind sleeps with you, right? So the conscious mind has a limited time frame. From morning around, say, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you get up, until the night you don't sleep. That's the time your conscious mind is active, right? So it's not active 24/7. Now, the conscious mind is the mind which you use to imagine things, right? Now, imagination is the greatest of all human gift. You cannot tell me a thing around you in this world which is humanly created, man-made creation, women-made creation, which is not being done by using imagination. Imagination is the very fundamental gift we have through which we create something. That's why the great scientist Albert Einstein, he said that, imagination is everything. It is more important than logic. Logic will take you from A to Z. Imagination takes you everywhere. Unfortunately, our education system doesn't honor this gift. It doesn't train us to develop this gift. Imagination. So they say, I don't know who said the statement. He said, every kid is a born genius only till he enters education, gets into the schooling. Once you go into the schooling part, your gift is completely curtailed down. And that's the sad part of our current education system. It is not honoring the gift, which is very much required to create things in our life, right? Now, the conscious mind is also the logical mind. It is also the rational mind. So if I ask you right now, Arunima, you're listening to me right now, right? I ask you, Arunima, tell me this. Are you right now witnessing the best presentation ever in the world, right? What would be your answer? So you would say, I don't think so, because I have not gone through all kind of presentation. How can I say this right now? It will not be an objective thing, right? Or if I ask you, Arunima, welcome to the city of England, right? Or to Britain, you'll say, no, I'm in India. The conscious mind, the logic mind will analyze things. It will say, no, this is not correct, right? I'm in India. This is daytime. This is nighttime. Conscious mind, logical mind. Unfortunately, today in the world, people don't use it. We don't use our discernment, our intelligent evaluation, and we simply come out of reaction or our habitual way of thinking. So very less people use what we call as the conscious logical faculty, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Willpower is again a conscious ability we have. It's a function of conscious mind. Next one. It is the gatekeeper of subconscious. A data can't enter the subconscious without passing the conscious mind, right? And just give me some time. I'll connect the whole picture together so you'll have more clarity about this part. So the conscious mind is also the gatekeeper of subconscious mind. Because subconscious mind is so powerful, but it has no logic. It cannot reason. It cannot tell you what is good, what is bad, right? Hence, whatever you take in, it simply enters the subconscious. When? In the first few years of your life, first 6 7 years of your life, right? That's why it is such a critical period for a child for the first 7 years, because the conscious, the logical mind is not active. Whatever the kids understand, they know, they see, they simply absorb this as a conditioning, and that conditioning creates their core programming on which they grow up to live life. So if the programming is bad, there's a person who has grown up with the wrong programmings, and that will lead to wrong behaviors, wrong action, and all series of things. The conscious mind is not what you are born with. It develops after around 5 to 6 years of your life. Once you grow up, that's when the conscious faculty starts developing. But today, I guess, in the kids today, it develops very fast. I think today kids are like 30 40-year-old people 300 is back, right? They are so smart today, right? So now the number may be different, maybe change, right? So this is the conscious mind. This is the gift of mankind. This is what conscious mind is, what differentiates you with animal. Even the animal has a subconscious mind. The bird has a subconscious mind. Their heart is beating, right? But they can't think the way we can. They can't plan. They can't create the way we can. This is the gift to mankind. Unfortunately, very less used by people. Now, you can understand conscious mind as the CEO of a company, as the top executive of a company, right? Okay, subconscious mind is the mind of emotions. Every single emotion which you feel comes out of your subconscious mind. It is the emotional mind. It is the habitual mind. The subconscious works 24/7, right? So all the major vital function of the body is controlled by subconscious. Your heartbeat. Everyone, can you check right now? Is your heart beating? I hope so. Your heart is beating, right? So this is a subconscious activity, right? It is a subconscious activity. Now, guess what? When you sleep in the night, right? You go to sleep, you're having a good dream of maybe in a vacation somewhere, but your subconscious is doing the work. Whatever you have eaten, it is getting digested, right? The heart is beating, the lungs is pumping breath. Every critical function of the body is happening without your awareness. Your conscious mind is sleeping, the subconscious is on the task. Your subconscious holds the record of all your past behaviors. Whatever you have done, you have seen, you have consumed, you have spoken, everything in a way gets recorded in the subconscious. It controls, the subconscious kind of controls, one second, it controls all the vital function of the body, right? Think about it. Now, there's a scientific number. Now, as I was reading an article, and it says that we have more than 100 trillion cells in the body, 100 trillion cells, right? So we are a community of cells. We are not a one person, but we are 100 trillion miniature human beings together. Now, they say every cell at the level of the DNA is going through around 1 lakh chemical function every second. Every cell going through 1 lakh chemical function every second. Now, guess what? They say in a second when you breathe in, around 10 million cells dies in the body. 1 to 10 million dies in the body. Next second, the 1 to 10 million gets regenerated. So every day you go through complete regeneration of cells of your body. Now, we know scientifically the kidneys take, I think, 6 months to regenerate. The eyes takes 3-4 months time. So in a year's time, they say you have a brand new human body. Every year, every cell gets regenerated until you have a disease somewhere where the part is not able to regenerate itself, right? Now, which mind then is controlling that activity? It is the subconscious, right? It takes control of all these functions which keeps you alive. Look, if you think about what is the minimum which should happen for you to be alive, what is the minimum? And the minimum is your breath. You have to breathe in. Even that is not under your control. Even that is a part of subconscious. So your job is just here to think, to plan, to analyze. That's it. Rest all is the subconscious which takes care of it, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. It influences around 95 to 95% of your decision-making abilities. It's a habit mind, all habits in subconscious. That's why it is so difficult to change habit or even a build habit, right? But once a habit is built and it's a wrong habit, then God bless you. But if it's a right habit, like a reading book, like yoga, like meditation, it can completely transform your life, right? So you have to be very careful of what habit you are building it up for you. It controls the body, it controls the actions you take, right? every single action of your body is mostly controlled by subconscious. That's why we say, no, something called as muscle memory. We have a muscle memory. We have a unconscious competence, right? Cellular memory. So you can do a lot of things without even thinking about it. You're coming from your office back to home, and you reach home driving your car, and you wonder, in the entire duration, what I was thinking. My mind was not on driving the car, but you still drove down to your house safely, right? So it was a subconscious kind of driving your car. Now, every night as you sleep, whatever data they say you have consumed in the entire day, things you have seen, come across, kind of all of those enters the subconscious. So every night, the entire download happens from the conscious and the data is shifted to subconscious. That's why they say before sleeping, the last 30 to 45 minutes is very crucial. Whatever you are consuming in the last 30, 45 minutes, you are seeing a movie, you're seeing Crime Patrol, you're seeing news, or you're doing anything, reading, whatever you do, kind of very easily enters the subconscious, because the filter, there's something called as critical conscious filter here. That filter is kind of, the gate is open, right? We are into the something called as the alpha brain wave. And that's the state when the data from the conscious goes in subconscious very, very easily, right? Okay. Okay, somebody's unmuted. Guys, can you mute yourself? I can hear a good song, by the way, from the background, but that will lead to a distraction. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, can you look at this right now? Right? And it is a snake. Now, I don't have the time to interact with you, but just think for yourself. What did you feel seeing the snake? If I say right now, can you imagine the snake, right? And I don't want to scare you, but can you imagine the snake right now, the rattlesnake or the king cobra under your table in your house right now, and trying to gently come, trying to wrap around your leg coming up, right? Some of you may start feeling fear instantly. Now, guess what? By the way, this is not a real snake. It's only a picture of the snake. So this is a conscious thought. I chose you to think, I made you to think about a snake. Now, guess what? The moment you do that, the conscious thought, instantly the conscious thought from the conscious mind triggers a subconscious emotion. It might be fear. It might be feeling of you are frightened, or it might be your blood pressure is going up. Some kind of emotional reaction is happening within you right now. Just by a conscious thought, the subconscious program gets active. That is the simplest way to check what is your subconscious programming. When you think a thought, what emotions do you feel? Because every emotion is kind of subconscious. Now see here, the snake is not real right now. The snake is only a picture, but merely a picture can still put your body in what we call as the fight-flight response or the stress response. You can instantly go into a fighting mode just by having a conscious thought. And just wait with me. I'll connect the whole dots whole picture clearly. Now, look at this right now, money, right? The 2000 rupees note, the 500 rupees note, look at this right now. And notice, when you look at this money, what do you feel right now? Right? What do you feel? Now, not everybody would be feeling good. Some of you are feeling like, yaar, kash thore life mein aur paise hote hain. Itna jo din raat effort karna nahi karna padta, right? Not everybody would be feeling positive, or not everybody would be feeling negative. Now, this thought of money triggers inside you either a happy emotion or a sad emotion, depending on what is your subconscious program. Now, think about it. Imagine for a moment. If you have been through a difficult childhood, right, wherein you don't have much money in your life, your family was in a situation, and you went through a lot of scarcity in your life, right? Now, in your subconscious, the programming is, it is so difficult to earn money. I'm not lucky enough to have a lot of money. The moment you see money from the subconscious, you start feeling lackness. You start feeling unworthy. You start feeling, no, I can't have it. You start feeling sad. So a thought instantly activates your subconscious data, right? Which means once the subconscious contains all this data from the childhood, it just takes a thought to trigger a subconscious response. Now, why this is important? Now, why this is important? Because all your decision and your actions are controlled by your subconscious, which means I can simply, you're going for a presentation, I can simply, or a board meeting, I can simply make you think a bad thought, which a lot of people in the office do today in corporate, right? I work with a lot of people as a one-to-one coach, right? And I see so many guys fighting through politics and all of this. I can simply insert a thought in your mind before the crucial situation, and that thought triggers a bad experience from the past in the subconscious, and now you are primed to feel stress, feel worry, and feel negative. And guess what? Your action, your result, your performance gets affected in the scenario, in the final outcome. So it just takes one thought to trigger the subconscious, right? Okay. Now, so what we learn right now, it just requires a thought or a past experience or even imagining a worst case scenario to program your mind. Now, guess what? This was a good thing, no, in the ancient time. हम जब जंगल में थे, no, we had to be alive. So anything unknown was danger, right? So we evolved with that kind of thought. Okay, if there is a tribe of different people, if there's an animal, we have to be safe, we have to be protected, right? So seeing a snake, our body will trigger what we call as the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-flight response, and will come in action to fight it off, right? The energy will be sent to the legs and the hands to fight the situation, right? But today, you don't get to face a tiger on the street. You don't get to face a tiger in the office, right? But today, because our conscious mind, the cortex is so developed, you can simply think a thought and you can prime your body to feel a stressful emotions. And that starts controlling your life day in, day out. In fact, 95% of people are driven by their habitual responses and they are in the state of stress. That's what research highlights today, right? Okay. Now, so every day, what you're doing is you're feeding your mind every day. With what? You're feeding your mind with television. Now, in television, you are not seeing the Astha channel. You're not sitting and doing meditation. You're watching news. I'll not name the news guys, but you know, once I was watching a news and after 30 minutes, I felt I want to go to the border and fight Pakistan, right? I felt so much of rage and anger within me. But guess what? Nothing was happening outside in the world. At the border, things were good. But the news, that information made me feel so much of anger. In a way, it simply programmed my subconscious for me to feel in that manner. So every day when you watch news, when you go read newspapers, and you know what is filled with, right? News is not positive, it's all negative today, right? You go through social media and all kind of people, what they are doing, and you become addict of social media in a way. Then you start watching these horror movies and be around negative people. Now, all of this is what we call as your brain diet. You're feeding your mind with this every single day in, day out. Now, what this does is, it triggers subconsciously inside you fear, anxiety, sadness, worry, anger, rage, these kind of negative emotions without even your awareness. Now, guess what? In the ancient time, people became fearful when they saw a tiger. Today, you are becoming fearful. There's no tiger in front of you, just a mental tiger. Or might be your mother-in-law, or might be your boss, whomever you hate possibly, right? A thought triggers that response. Now, guess what? As a human being, you are not meant to stay in a stress response. That is not good for human body. Today, they say a stress causes around 90 to 95% of disease, which we know of right now. In a stressful environment, your body is not in a state of health or evolvement, but it's simply surviving in the moment, right? So when you feed your mind with this data, what it does is it triggers subconsciously all of these negative emotions, and that results in, guess what? Your distraction from your future goals, your long-term goals, right? It programs your subconscious mind. It makes you feel worthless, right? It increases your blood pressure. It affects your emotional health, right? It affects your relationship. Now, रात में आप crime patrol देख रहे हो, रात के 11 बजे, उस इंसान ने उस इंसान के इतने सारे टुकड़े किए. Now, how that information is going to help you in your life? But you're now feeding your subconscious with all those inputs. It's like a mine. You're sowing the seeds, which is going to affect your life in some point of time in your life, right? So all these issues happens as you feed your mind with this. You feel this, and that's how you start getting the results. And this now leads to what? It leads to failure, regrets, and a life wasted because you don't have the energy left to work for your goals, to think creatively, to be in love, to plan your future. You are hooked in what we call as survival. And survival is not the state of creation. Survival is anti-creation. You can't create when you're in survival, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people today are in this state, knowingly or unknowingly. Now, all of this slowly becomes your pattern. You don't even realize it. And the world outside is now controlling your life, right? So then people ask you why you're not growing in your life. You say, it's my destiny. I can't do much. It is not your destiny. You have let the outside world control your life currently. Because your subconscious controls 95% of your behavior, right? And the subconscious is controlled by all that you're feeding your mind consciously, right? Okay, so imagine this child is born, right? A cute little child, completely pure and a clean slate, no programming. But as the child grows up till age 7, the child starts developing programming. This is good, this is bad. What is right, what is wrong? It's difficult to earn money. You can't be happy doing what you love. The world is mean. The world is filled with people who are not good. All kinds of data is fed in your mind, including you're an average person. Why? Look at your maths marks. You just managed to get past, which means you're not intelligent. And all of these programmings goes in subconscious, and then you grow up, your conscious mind develops, and you operate from that mind, thinking and feeling, I'm good for nothing. So the first 6, 7 of your life is what controls your entire life in a way, right? Okay, so I'll just skip through these things just to save time. Now, what is the effect of subconscious programming, the negative programming? Your thinking becomes limited. It becomes, we call it the fixed mindset. There's a beautiful book by a Stanford psychologist, Carol Dweck, called as Mindset. Read that book. It's a tremendous book on how you can shift your mindset to achieve results in your life. The book name is Mindset by Carol Dweck from Stanford. Procrastination, laziness, no appetite to take risk, mediocre work life, tends to create bad luck, only attract people with mediocre mindset, right? This is the result of negative subconscious program, which we go through generally in our life, right? And then we form beliefs like it's difficult to earn money. Now, this is not a fact. It's only a conclusion you have made, depending on your past situation. There's scarcity of money in the world. It takes years of hard work to be rich. Now, this is not a fact. It's just a conclusion. And if you believe this conclusion, guess what? That's your result. That's your life. It takes, I'm an average person. I don't have any special skill or talent. Life is difficult. Now, if you believe life is difficult, guess what? Your life shall be difficult. Because subconscious will make sure you end up attracting situation where you are going to face a lot of difficulty. World is full of bad people. Guess what? Those are the kind of people you'll meet every single day in your life. You can't always be happy. You'll not be happy. I'm not enough, right? I'm not complete. Failure is a bad thing. These are some of the limiting programs, gets in subconscious, which controls our life, right? Tremendous research on meditation that you can use meditation as a method to program your subconscious. There's a lot of research done in this area. It is also proven to change your core programming in subconscious, and it helps you to increase the length of telomeres, which is your biological age in a way. So if you meditate daily, you gain new perspectives, you build skills, self-awareness. In a way, it is a hack to control the subconscious. So any form of meditation is very effective. And obviously there's some meditations which are very powerful, but at least any meditation gives you a lot of result, right? Now, people believe before that once the subconscious program, it can't be changed. Programming is done, it is done, which is not true. In 1990s, Michael Mergenich, he came with a concept called as neuroplasticity. He won the Kavli Prize for it, which is equal to a Nobel Prize in neuroscience. And this guy showed us that the brain is plastic, which means you can change your behavior, your beliefs, your thought any given day in your life. It only requires you to take a pause and reflect what kind of person you have been, what kind of programs running your mind, what kind of thoughts you have, and take a pause and then follow a method to start shifting your programming. And you can do that because the brain primarily is plastic. Like the brain you have come today to join this session, and when you finish, you will not have the same brain. You will end up forming so many new connections in the brain, right? And if you go back and revise the concept in next few days, those connections becomes permanent. It becomes a part of you, right? Okay. Now, it's a very famous study from Harvard. Amazing study. Pascal Leon, he took a group of people, right? The researcher at Harvard, Alvaro Pascal Leon. Now, he took two groups of people. One group, he made them practice playing the piano using 5 finger. Say, use your 5 finger, play the piano. 2 hours every day, 5 days, 5 days for 5 weeks. One group was playing the piano with the right hand, 5 finger. Another group was asked to just imagine you are playing the piano with the 5 finger. Don't play it, just imagine you are playing the piano. Guess what? After 5 weeks, when they compared the brain of those people, they found exactly the same brain change in the people who practice the piano physically and the people who only imagine playing the piano. The region of the brain connected to the finger muscles was found to have changed to the same degree in both the groups of people, regardless of whether they struck the keys physically or mentally. So just imagining changes your brain also to a great degree. Just visualization. In scientific terms, we call it as mental rehearsal. And that is what gives you the power to reprogram your brain with a new thought, a new behavior, a new personality, a new identity. If I ask you right now, all of you, can you think for yourself? Can you reflect back? How do you see yourself as a person? Are you an intelligent person? Are you a smart person? Are you a creative person? Think about what you are as a person. Are you weak or a strong person? Now, you will have some words coming out for yourself, right? Now, that is what we call as your self-image, your core programming in the subconscious about you. And that programming equals to your life. Whatever program you have right now, your life would be a reflection of it completely, right? Your life would be exactly a reflection of it. So until you don't change that program about who you think you are, look, understand this clearly. You don't know who you are, right? Who you think you are is nothing but a society-driven program. You say, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm good, I'm bad. These are all conditionings, labels given to you. You don't know the true reality about yourself, right? But we create a certain label defining who we are, and the life becomes that label. If you believe I'm a very lucky person, guess what? You'll see your life will start falling in that manner. You'll end up coming across situations, events, people where you'll start expressing your luck and you'll start experiencing that thing for you also, right? So your core programming in the subconscious drives what we call as your life. Now, what's the tool then to program the subconscious? Thomas Edison used this profoundly, right? Thomas Alva Edison, the light bulb, no? He says, never go to sleep without a request to your subconscious. You see? And he was known to use this in a very, very amazing fashion, right? Now, the tool is, you asked me then, Avinash, all is good, but how do we then program the subconscious? Good, you talked about all of this stuff. Interesting concept. How do you program this? And that's where it comes, the tool of mental rehearsal or visualization. But not just visualization, emotion infused visualization, right? Now, what are the steps for it in a way? I'll give you a simple step. I'll not make things complex, simple so that you can understand it easily.
Avinash, sorry
Yes.
to intervene 5 minutes more so that we can take up questions.
Yeah, I'm on the last slide.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
So steps are simple. Choose a goal for yourself. What is the goal you have? A goal you want to achieve, or a kind of person you want to become. Okay? First step is to get clarity on your goal. Whatever your goal is, as simple as, so why don't you do this today? Today, when you sleep in the night, choose a goal that you want a call from your friend, an old friend with whom you have not spoken, or you want some unexpected money for yourself from an unexpected source, right? Think of a goal. As you sleep in the night, as you sleep, recall some happy moments, right? Recall a moment of happiness, your marriage, your child's birth, whatever makes you happy. If your marriage was not good, don't recall it, by the way, but recall the happy moments, right? Whatever it might be for you. Once you are feeling happiness, that's when you start thinking about the goal. But only think about the end result. Visualize only the end result, the ultimate outcome. That's what you have to visualize, right? And you have to sleep visualizing it. And repeat this every night. And when you get up in the morning, you again bring the same goal. Look at this clearly, the outcome as if it's already happened for you, or you have developed that confidence, your healing has happened, right? Just visualize that and get up in the morning or sleep in the night. Now do this for next 60 to 90 days to start with, and notice what happens for you. If you can, in a discipline, if you can practice this for next 60 to 90 days, no matter if you need healing for yourself, if you need a change in your habits, if you need a change in your behavior, a better job, a better income, doesn't matter what is the outcome, right? Scientists have made invention using this method. Edison was very popular about it. Einstein has done it. In fact, the theory of relativity, they say Einstein imagined, visualized the entire situation. And that's how he was able to discover that thing, that theory, right? So that's the step for you. Very simple step, 5-step process, right? Think of a goal. As you sleep, recall a happy moment. You must first recall a happy moment, then only start visualizing the goal. A lot of people, they are not in a happy state and they visualize the goal. And that's not the right way. You'll end up programming the goal in a negative emotional state, which is not the right thing, right? So a happy moment, recall the goal of your healthy body, fit body, 5 kilo weight has gone, or whatever it might be for you. And then repeat every night, every morning for at least 60 to 90 days. Start with only 1 or 2 goals. Don't have too many goals. You will maybe possibly get confused in the process, right? Best is think of any amount you wish to manifest for next 6 months, 12 months. Double the amount and visualize the outcome. I have people who have got job with 100% increase in salary, right? 2.5 times increase in salary when they have done this part, right? So don't believe blindly. Please go and experiment. So it becomes your knowledge, your truth, right? Other tips, you can feed your mind daily with positive things. Practice meditation daily, no matter what. It's a game changer. Keep happiness on priority. Go for mastery in 1-2 areas. Don't be a master of all stuff. Choose 1-2 areas where you want to become master on, and give the subconscious clear-cut command. This is the area I want to become the best in. And if you can be consistent for next 2-3 years, you will see tremendous change happening in your life. And last one is contribute, give, and share in your life, right? So guys, that's it from my side. I hope you enjoyed this part. This is my contact details. You can contact me on social media for any queries and questions. I'll be happy to respond. Okay, good. Let me now see if there are questions. Okay.
I'll take it, Avinash.
Sure.
I'll take up the question one by one.
Perfect.
So thank you, first of all, Avinash, for this. And before we go for the end, I think I'll take up questions from the audience. I think this is very important. The subconscious mind, something which has been, doctor's prescription. Like many doctors speak many things, and we have our own views. And I always wanted that there has to be a brainstorming on this. Some expert needs to discuss with people what kind of mindset we have and how do we take it. So in that case, we have 7 to 8 questions right here, and I request all the participants who have any questions, please post it here so that by the time Avinash addresses to all the questions, I can take up your questions also. Avinash, requesting you, time is short, so if you can respond to the questions as short as possible, then that will be better, because some 7-8 questions, good questions are here.
That's
all right.
a thing. I'll try my best, but
Okay. The first question, which asked by Prince Saroj Kumar. He's also a wonderful gentleman who is into the field of mind training, right? And his question is breath both a subconscious as well as conscious control? That's a question from him.
Yeah, Prince, good question. Now, you can obviously bring the conscious mind to control any part of the body. You can control the breath, even you can control the heartbeat. Yogis are known to do this, right? But it requires rigorous practice. So consciously you can control the breath, but you cannot make the breath happen consciously for a long period of time. Subconscious is the mind which takes care of it, right? Like last 40 years, how much time you have controlled the breath consciously? You can control it, but you cannot let it happen. It is a subconscious activity primarily. But yes, using the conscious mind, you can hold the breath, you can make the breath faster, but it's the subconscious activity, which is how it is designed in the body.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So requesting everybody whose questions have been answered, just put up an acknowledgement in the chat box if your query is answered. Thank you. The next question by Mona Lisa. Does subconscious mind impact on age?
Amazing. Mona Lisa, sorry. Very good question. No, it does.
Yes, sir.
I don't have time to go through the slide. I have hidden the slide. I wrote an article in Forbes. No, can you reverse aging, right? And there's a research done then when a group of scientists from Harvard made people with 79 years age, they took them to a monastery for 7 days and they were trying to experiment, can they consciously reverse their aging? And there were evidence of that happening. So yes, you can do that part. Your subconscious can reverse aging. It is scientifically proven research. And if you just Google it, no, you'll find a lot of articles. If you want, I can send you the article I have written down also, and you'll find the exact, I have given the ways as well how we can do it. So it is possible, yes, completely.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot. Next question by Zainab, who has been a student in Ravencha University, has been a very good student. Yes. And she has a question. I think she is pursuing a psychology, if I'm not wrong. Yes. And her question is, can creativity be induced by auto-suggestion?
Yes. Janab, amazing question. And the answer is yes, it can be. A simple way is, and I'll give you this challenge from today onwards, start saying this to yourself. I am super creative. Repeat this for 50 times before you go to the sleep for next 90 days and come back to me after 90 days and tell me how is your creativity question now. It can be simply done if you can put the statement, I am super creative or I'm highly creative daily to your subconscious for next 90 days. Now, the thing is, don't believe blindly. Why don't you experiment for yourself to see the result? Nothing can be a greater evidence than your own result for yourself. So please go and do that. My answer is yes, it can be done.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Mr. Rajendra Prasad Padi, you can say Rajendra, yeah. And has been our member and wonderful person. And he has a question. Negative activities like murder, suicide are the acts of which mind? How the tendency can be changed?
Rajendra, good question. Now look, when you watch a news channel and you see all this murder news, suicide news, so obviously you're using the conscious mind to get the data inside your brain, right? Now, it's okay to watch it once, twice, but if you start getting pleasure in watching these news, some people get, that's why they see the Crime Patrol and the Savdhan India, these shows goes well, people start enjoying it. Now, that's when you are letting the data go to subconscious, and in the subconscious becomes kind of a seed in the subconscious. And that is what sometimes leads you to take those actions as well. For example, a lot of people who work in horror movies, if you go and track their life, a lot of these actors, you would find a lot of them goes through terrible things in their life. There's a study done in Hollywood, people who act in these horror movies, their life tends to become very, very challenging. So yes, so you have to use the conscious mind to cut off all these information coming in. It is not serving you in any which way, right? Cut off all the information. Plus, if you get those thoughts, if you catch yourself having those thoughts coming to you, like suicidal, a lot of people get these thoughts, right? So it's like an alarm now for you to consciously see that what you have been putting in your mind. And then obviously you take professional help, but a simple way is start saying to yourself that I'm becoming more positive, I'm becoming better, I'm becoming more healthier. Start those kind of suggestions to your subconscious. that will help you to change the program in next 2-3 months time.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Wonderfully answered. We were 72 members. Now we're 65. Requesting everybody. We waited for 1 year. I mean 1 hour. Let's wait for 5 minutes, 8 minutes more, because the questions are wonderful questions, and the way it is responded by Avinash is more than wonderful. So these questions will help us in this way or the other. So requesting all of you, please wait for 5-10 minutes more and listen to the responses of Avinash. So Avinash, I'll repeat, please be as quick as possible in responding the questions. Well, and the question by Debabrata sir, conditioning and self-limiting belief restricts us to visualize the end result. What is the remedy?
Sir, very good question. Now, Carl Jung, he said a statement. He said, an unexamined life is not worth living. So first step is to become aware what limiting beliefs I'm holding inside. Moment you become aware of it. For example, my belief was I'm an average person. Why? Look at my marks, average marks in my lifetime. So I had to uncover this belief and reason the belief that this holds no ground, because my intelligence has nothing to do with my education, right? Today, the world is full of people like that. So once you uncover the limiting belief, then your step is to put a new belief that I'm super intelligent, or the reverse of that belief. Once you do that, the challenge would be first couple of weeks when your old programming would say, no, this is not true. This is not true. You have to just cross the first 2-3 weeks of doing the practice, and then you'll find it will become easy like any other habit.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. A request from Snehal Sinha. Please give some kinds of meditation.
Snehal, good question. Now, I can't do it right now, but if you go to my Facebook page, Avinash Anand Singh, in the lockdown, we did more than 2 months of meditation, all kinds of meditation. People had tremendous result. So if you just go to the Facebook page, Avinash Anand Singh, you'll find many meditations on the page. Like last March, April, May, we have done a lot of meditations. Relationship, health, programming, all kind of stuff. So just go and find one of them from my page. You'll get a lot of them.
Thank you. Question by Prafulla Bhai, Mr. Prafulla. Positive affirmation has great impact on subconscious mind, but if positive action is not there, how do you expect positive result will be there out of that?
Good question, sir. Obviously, action has to come in. So the first step is to put the thought, the affirmation, that makes the action easier. If the thought is not there, action will be very difficult, right? So the first step is to put the thought. Now that opens the ground for you to take the action easily. But you must take action, because if you're not taking the action, how the results will come? So the affirmation and action go hand in hand, and both has to be done.
All right. Arunima has a question. We discussed about conscious and subconscious mind. Can you throw some light on unconscious mind?
Arunima, the good question. Now, there is a lot of theories behind this. So understand, I didn't have time to go in unconscious. So unconscious is a part of subconscious only. But imagine unconscious to be a very tiny part of subconscious, in which, if you go back now, and some people may not agree to this, but in which I believe the data from all your past lifetime is stored, right? The past lifetime that's where it is stored in a way, unconscious mind. But as of now, for our use, that's not relevant. Nature has a reason to block the system from us to access this. So I think you just work with the subconscious, that is good enough, right? But yes, unconscious is there in a way. Some people make it a one mind, some make a divide. So depend on how you want to believe this. But there's no exact scientific understanding as of now, which whatever I have read, if it has come, I don't know about it. As of now, I don't know of an exact theory which divides the two minds together in a separate way.
All right. Thank you. Question by Dipti. In fact, he has two questions. If you can quickly answer these two. How to control anger with subconscious mind?
Dipti, anything you want to control, you will fail. The human body is not designed to control anything. Your energy should go towards feeding a new behavior. Feed a new behavior. So start saying to yourself, whenever I get angry, I automatically become peaceful. Whenever I feel angry, I become peaceful. Repeat this statement for 2,000 times. Whenever I become angry, I become peaceful, right? Do this and you notice what happens. So when you get angry, your subconscious, the brain kind of links that emotion with a new thought, which is when I get angry, I become peaceful. When I get angry, I behave peacefully. So you regulate that energy towards a new behavior. If you suppress it, control it, it's like an internal volcano inside you, right? One. Second step is all that you makes you angry, write in a piece of paper and burn it. So you download this energy out of your body on a piece of paper and burn it. That releases the anger very well.
All right. And the same Dipti has another question. He's currently running a management college and he wants to make it a university by 2030. How should I train my subconscious mind to achieve my dream?
Deeply beautiful, because even I have the same thing. I want to develop a mystical university where we bring science and ancient wisdom to help people develop this gift inside them. So what I do is, how do I visualize? I see myself taking a run of the campus, going to different classes, seeing the kids studying, and great people from the world visiting the campus, right? So imagine those scenarios as it would be when you really launch a campus, right? So make a mental movie of 1 minute. Every night as you sleep, go through the entire campus. And if you do that every night, you'll not wait 10 years. It may happen in the next 4 5 years as well, right? So all the best for it. I hope you get this dream manifested for you.
Wonderful. By Tushar, can popularity affect subconscious mind?
The question I don't understand clearly. Popularity affects subconscious mind. Look, Tushar, the subconscious can make you popular. Once you become popular, it can make you feel pride, and that can change your behavior. So yes, like when you get name, fame, and money, people tend to develop bad behavior sometime, or they lose the track, right? But what you do is you say, subconscious help me become popular and a good person and sustain that popularity, something like that. So you put the right programming subconscious, right? Popularity with name, with fame, with money, with sustained success in a good way. Something of that sort, I think. I don't know if I've answered your question correctly, but that's what I understood from the question.
All right. Bhavagrahi Sahu. Bhavagrahi, the question is, what's the relation between subconscious mind and self-motivation?
So self-motivation is a conscious faculty. Like every day I get up and say to myself, I'm going to live a very beautiful day today. So I consciously motivate myself. Once it is done for a certain period of time, my subconscious can pick up this behavior and it starts doing the process automatically, right? So you have to train the subconscious mind for a few days and then allow the behavior to go in subconscious. It becomes your unconscious ability to do this.
Wonderful. Ranjit has a question. How to be happy in sad and bad situation?
Ranjit, so when you are in a sad situation, imagine an even bigger sad situation which could have happened. You'll get the perspective, you'll feel good on the spot, right? A lot of time we lose perspective. Right now, no matter what situation you are in right now, 70% of India is below poverty line. Imagine homeless, handicapped, people with cancer. When you see life in perspective that everybody has a share of problems, you will feel good about it, right? So sad situation or good, it's all changing. Nothing stays forever. So start enjoying the change process and try to develop equanimity in the entire process. Good things go away, bad things go away. Nothing stays forever, right? So with that perspective, you see, even bad situation, you can handle it easily. It's not a big game in a way. No.
Thank you, sir.
Question by Sheikh. Someone advised me to be confused and be creative. How true is this?
Someone advised me to be confused and
creative. To stay creative and to stay confused.
You see now, confusion is not a good state. Generally, they say in the sales, if you can't convince a person, confuse them, right? That's what I've learned in sales. But no, it's not a good thing because confusion clashes with action. Clarity creates or drives action. So if you really want to change your life, achieve results, clarity is must. That's when your brain gets the ability to really go towards a one-pointed direction, right? So please develop clarity. I don't know who has given you the confused advice. Please watch their life, see how they are living their life. I don't know what the results they are having possibly, right? But yes, when you start developing creativity, your brain goes through a process, what we call as the a diffusion thinking, when it goes through a lot of data, a lot of things. So when the brain integrates all of this from that chaos, a greater order comes out, which is what we call as creativity, right? So confusion is a step towards creativity, but don't aim to be confused. That's not a very good aim to have in life, possibly.
All right. So, Avinash, last 2-3 questions. We are done with this today. The question from Dr. Ashok Das. How do you deal with a deceptively simple mind?
How do you deal with deceptively simple mind? Sir, very good question. And I don't know if I can do justice to this question. I'll give you what I do generally. It doesn't matter. I find good people, deceptive people, no, or whatever people. I decide very carefully who am I as a person and what values I need to live in this world. And I make sure I don't lose my guard. So even if I find a deceptive person, right, he's trying to be play around, trying to be smart, and I know sometime, right? So I'll make sure it doesn't harm me too much, but I simply offer my value. And in most of the cases I find, eventually the person comes on tomorrow and says, sorry, I was not like, no, I did something wrong. So for me, it's more about what is my response to that situation rather than controlling the person's behavior. Now, if it is your mind who's deceptive, right? You think my own mind is deceptive. If that's the scenario, then you have to put some suggestions to your mind or to yourself, to subconscious, to develop the qualities you want, right? Like I'm becoming very clear in my thinking. I'm very honest, something like that, right? That's my approach towards the situation. I don't know if I have answered the question properly for you.
Manminder Singh, he has a question. What's the relation between conscious subconscious? I think he missed the session initially.
Right.
And how to continue positive thinking in your life. If you just quickly can.
Manminder, if you can go back to go to YouTube and find a video. I made a video on this. Just find my name, Avinash Singh. You'll find a video of conscious subconscious. It's a 5-minute video. I've explained it properly. So I think that will do more justice than me answering right now in a 10 seconds time.
Yes,
sir,
and continue positive thinking. Simple. Develop the habit of reading. Once somebody asked Bill Gates, if you can develop one superpower, what will be? What will be the superpower? He says the ability to read faster. You cannot develop a positive thinking sustain without feeding your mind with the right input. And for that, the best habit is to read books every single day, but not any book. Choose the book of great people, 20 of them, 30 of them, and just read them ferociously. And you'll find it simply changes the entire programming subconscious.
All right. Avinash has already shared his number. So if any other question, because we're already running short of time.
Just one question.
Yes.
Avinash, hello. This is Mohan Chaudhary.
Right.
I have a 10-year-old son.
Right.
And what kind of things that I need to do so that he becomes what we have lost. We did not have a guidance like this to tell, but now I have an opportunity to do something for him. What are things that I should impart on him as of now? 10-year-old child.
What qualities you want him to develop?
Positive thinking, that things are good in life. Not being afraid. Biggest thing is he's always afraid.
I'll give a simple solution. You develop these qualities within you, inside yourself, and he will simply learn by imitating you. Children majorly learn by imitating the behavior of their parents. We have something called as mirror neurons in the brain, and the kids will see your behavior.
He's the opposite of me.
Behaving like this, you'll find them automatically picking the behavior. Number one. Number two, every night before they sleep, feed them with stories of those qualities about people. Look, हमने कल्चर में फीड किया कि एक प्रिंस था, वो आया, सिंड्रेला को भगा के ले गया. Guess what? People got up, children became old, and they run and marry, right? But that's what we have fed the child in the childhood, right? Feed children with stories, because stories stay for a lifetime, especially in the night sleep time. That's why our ancient people, they designed bedtime stories. But today we have lost the game. Bedtime stories with the right virtues every night. Guess what? You will remember right now what stories your grandfather told you with the right input of that quality. Do these two things, and you notice what happens in the next few months or few years. You'll find them simply getting programmed in the right manner.
All right. So
thank you very much. Thank you.
Great. So we are done. We will and rest requesting everybody, whoever has any question coming up, please connect him. He's already shared his number. Just a second, here I go. So thank you, Avinash. So it's time to wrap it up. Avinash, thanks a lot. And Avinash is not known to us just for a few months. We have been known to each other for a long time, and we have already undergone a course on laws of power of subconscious mind, law of attraction, and a few L&D members also joined in. Our Punarao sir, our ex-director, also was a part of it, and we have wonderful experience with him. And let me announce that we are planning very soon to launch a program in association with Avinash in the upcoming days, and is going to be highly beneficial for all of you. I'm sure under his guidance we'll all will grow. And Avinash, thank you so much for accepting the request. And on behalf of Learning and Development Global Bhubaneswar chapter, I thank you so much for joining us and beautifully addressing the questions of all the audience patiently. That's something which is your forte, and you have been so patient to address all of them. And I would like to thank our viewers, participants, everybody who have joined. And the flow of questions is wonderful, and they had been also patient enough to listen to you properly. And I would like to thank Sheikh on the other side. He's still at office, and he has been operating it technically, making it live, and I'm here. So thank you so much for branding committee, Sheikh and Tushar and other Lipsa, for taking it forward and doing it successfully. And I'll thank my program committee, Parshuram, to initiate with, and all of us are putting in a top class effort to make it successful. I request all the members who have joined today, who are non-L&D members, please join us in the future, because these programs will be limited to only members who are registered. So this is only on for this month, and next month onwards it will be only for the registered members. So please join us. Connect Mr. Arun and the membership committee Alkadi for becoming a member. And I thank our director Raja Singh, who has been a driver behind all this for making it successful. And on behalf of L&D Global Bhubaneswar, finally, once again, I would like to thank Avinash for being a part of it. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody. See the claps for you, Avinash.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Virtually it doesn't happen, but this is happening for you. See, this is the response. This is the impact you have created. All right.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
So we call it a day. Thank you so much, everybody. So L&D Global Bhubaneswar chapter signing off. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
This is happening for you. See, this is the response. This is the impact you have created. All right. So we call it a day. Thank you so much.